My name is Maisha Bynum. I'm owner of MJB Holistic Hair Care. I want to say maybe about mid-April, I got a letter from where we were in Lanham, our location in Lanham, basically stating they didn't want to continue a month-to-month lease with us. And so I hadn't told anybody. I just was like, I don't know what we're going to do. We're in the midst of a pandemic. How are we going to find, everything shut down, how are we going to find somewhere to go?
When you open your business, after the grand opening, that's when the work, that's when the work is reality.
2018, we had an accident where a car ran into the salon.
I think my faith was tested a lot, and just knowing the vision that I knew God gave me for my business, and just to see that that He brought me this far and He did not leave me.
But that accident happened, and it just kind of like just broke everything.
That He kept me going through the pandemic. So I think that for me was like the biggest challenge, is, knowing that He got my back all the time.
It was all in God's plan for a year or two later for Maisha to, take that space. And I was that ram in the bush.
And yeah.
And so when the pandemic hit, I did not panic, because I'm just coming out of a storm, right? I'm just coming off my own pandemic, right? All things work together, man. Everything worked, for the good of, our business and other businesses.
I guess the biggest challenge was just seeing my husband home every day. Despair is just too harsh of a word, but just seeing that in him, kind of just made me sad. It just made me sad that, I don't know, that maybe I felt like he was losing himself because he wasn't able to do, what he loved to do.
Quality cut, of course, good personality, able to engage in getting the information from the customer and what they want, in terms of style of haircut. Sometimes the customer, they can know what they want but can't describe it, right? So, a good barber is able to get that out of. And the art of it is unmastering, and that's why you love it. That's why you love it.
And the unknown of when will we ever get back to that.
A friend of mine gave me a book called Who Moved My Cheese? And this was back when I was working in the barbershop, before opening my shop. A good friend of mine, Charles LeGrand, and he said, man, read this book. He must saw something in me, or must saw something that, or didn't see something that he should have been seeing. Like, this young brother need a book. He need a book in his head, man. He need to put his mind on something. But he gave me that book, Who Moved My Cheese? And then he followed up with that book with another book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Bam! I couldn't put the first one down. I definitely couldn't put the second one down.
Pandemic affected the barber business tremendously, because when the pandemic first came about, we had no idea how to deal with it, for as wearing a mask, sanitizing, doing the sanitation stuff. So our business dropped off very, very bad.
And so I went from one book to the next, man, another book. And even today, sometimes I find myself reading books that I've read before, or picking up books that I can basically pick up a book from right behind me that can talk to me today that I may have read and now fully understand the experience that I've been through leading up to now, that I can read it again and it can help me through a difficult time.
Reason it dropped off because people who were scared to come out and get a haircut, first thinking they can catch the coronavirus. And a lot of people did catch coronavirus.
One particular book, T.D. Jakes wrote a book called Reposition Yourself. And so it was right around the time when he wrote SOAR, this book called SOAR. Yep, this is my SOAR book, T.D. Jakes. Got my Bible here. It's so beat up. I done read it about 4 times. Still read it. Got the highlights and everything. This is like something you read every day is the manual. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy SOAR because everybody's talking about it and it's a big revival about the whole thing. But I'm gonna reposition myself because first, before I read that, because I'm in a situation now, my whole business was under reconstruction, right? And reconstruction, you know, in the corporate world meaning layoffs, meaning people walking away. That book, Reposition Yourself, gave me insight to where I was at. Built to Last, John Collins, Good to Great. Those books gave me the strength and gave me the willpower to understand that, oh, this is natural. It's common. It happens in business. It's supposed to happen, right? And so I share with a lot of my team all the time, individually and collectively. It's how we respond to what goes on in business that determines the success.
Even when we first reopened after the pandemic, I just felt like the communication between me and the clients, it was just genuine, you know, because they had the same worries that I had, and, you know, they were stressed, and, you know, just hearing a person's heart, to me, that was just very meaningful. And so every day I kind of work, that's what I want to build on. I don't want to focus on, you know, how many people came in this day, because that'll let you down every time.
To go from the barber to be owner of a beauty shop, and now he's have a nice, beautiful shop in the second shop in Bowie, and this is about the third or fourth shop he owned, and I'm so proud of him.
We were able to report methods of things we were doing. And when the pandemic hit, it was all about analytics. It was all about data analytics. It was all about what have you done prior to this pandemic hitting that will give us a reason to help your business. And as a result, we had that information. And so I think at the time we had 10 technicians that were 1099, and we made sure that everybody had gotten their full reports at the end of the year, which a lot of businesses in my industry wasn't doing. They can care less about the team members, filing taxes or not filing taxes. It doesn't matter. You're paying booth rent, you know? The owner filed his taxes, but his accountability to making sure that everybody is operating in the same manner is not. One of the things that stood out with me too was both of my sons are barbers, and they're fully invested in the business. For me to transfer anything over to them, it would have to be the data analytics. It would have to be the reports. It would have to be numbers, not not barbers, not people.
To apply was the main thing.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
But the way you have your system set up, as you know, you did your 1099s, you do all that. A lot of barbershops, they get paid cash. Like, here goes your cash. You pay your taxes how you pay your taxes. I ain't got nothing to do with me. You give us a 1099, you pay our taxes, and then, you know, do our stuff like that. We got our stimulus check, boom, boom, boom. The people who didn't do it, they was like, man, the barbershops closing down, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic hit, we were able to ensure all our technicians were compensated through one, through their own taxes and things that they've been filing, and unemployment. It was a special unemployment that came out around that time. And then the business itself had gotten a stimulus, a PPP loan, that gave the technicians money to come back, and the money that they lost, the money that was lost 2 months prior, it paid them back in an 8-week span.
We were able to come back. As a unit, as a team, and at the same time, you know, establish other team members and quality, you know, technicians, you know, in terms of us expanding. So that was a true blessing, testament of, I guess, being prepared and doing the work. So these guys, Larry, he called me, he was like, look, man, I'm transitioning from instructing, mentoring these kids, man, to look, I'm going in the barbershop. Well, we need a manager, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it happen.
We're the main event for your hair attraction. When you come to see us, you get satisfaction. Go to tighten up, to get tighten up. Oh, why be uptight when you can just tighten